All right. Hello, hello. Today I welcome Chiara Montecchiari to a Marketeer's Adventures podcast. Chiara is a self-taught marketeer with a fascinating background, but I will let you talk about that more, Chiara.
Thank you for having me, Alice. Really nice to be here with you. My name is Chiara and I'm originally from Italy, but I lived in Sweden for one summer. And 9 years ago, I moved to Helsinki. So now Finland is my home, and most of my professional life come from Finland nowadays. And I have quite an interesting, I would say, not typical marketer background, because actually I worked as a sales assistant for 4 years. Then I worked 6 years in customer service, customer representative roles, including a flight attendant. So I've been a flight attendant for 2 years. And then when COVID-19 came, I was on a layoff notice from the airline, and I found my way to my career in marketing. So now it's been 4 years. And I worked as a B2B marketing manager for 3 years at a small scale up from Finland. And now it's been a few months that I'm a SEO and content specialist at an agency.
Yes, and you also studied language in Italy.
Yes, right.
Which then took you to Finland.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, actually, yes. So about my education, I have a bachelor degree in Chinese language. So Chinese was my major. And I also took a 1 year Swedish course after I had the experience in Sweden. And that's what drove me to the Nordics. But I was supposed to stay just 9 months in Helsinki and then continue my education in China. But then these 9 months turned into 9 years. So I studied a little bit at the Hanken School of Economics, which is the Swedish-speaking business school here in Helsinki. But I didn't complete the degree. It was just 6 months courses that I took there. So yeah, that's all about my education.
And after being a flight assistant and finding your first marketing job, you had to learn marketing from scratch yourself. So how was that?
It was very tough, I have to say. So how it happened is that when I was laid off, at the same time, there was this venture capital called Icebreaker. It's a Finnish venture capital, and they invest in, I think, pre-seeds startups. And they noticed that a lot of Finnish startups, they need international talents to grow because, Finland is only 5 million people population. So most of the startups in Finland, they are looking immediately to go global from day one. So otherwise, the investors are not really impressed with their business plan because the market is so small. So to do so, then they really need international talents who speak multiple languages, who have been also working outside of Finland. So then this company, this venture capital company, they were arranging these internships for immigrants in Helsinki, and the scope was then to see if that would be a good fit for the startup companies and eventually get hired if possible, because the problem was that there is always this gap in Finland that the international talents, they don't know how to find a job in Finland, and the Finnish companies, they don't know how to hire international talent. And so I really appreciated that this venture capital, they saw this and they fixed it with this process. And I have to be honest, the first 2 weeks were really tough. I didn't understand anything during the meetings, and I was so lost all of the times. I was matched with this fintech software as a service company. I know nothing about finance. I know nothing about tech, so it was quite challenging. But the attitude I always had from day one was I can always learn. So if this person is a marketing director at this company, if this person did it, I can also do it. There is a way to do it for me as well. And I remember there was quite a difference between me not having a marketing education and the other interns who actually had a marketing education, that I was like, okay, I literally need to learn everything from scratch. So I was going straight to the blog, YouTube videos. I remember of course, every company has these 10, 15 tools that you have to use, right? And then a lot of people go like, oh, I don't know how to use this tool. And I was like, okay, let's watch a YouTube video how to do it. And I was very, I don't know, for me, I felt very, I don't know how to explain it, but like for me, it was shocking to see people who had marketing education with the attitude of saying, oh, I already studied marketing, so now I don't want to study again this tool. And I don't know, I'm a very hands-on person. And when I do a job, I really want to understand what I'm doing. And I am also for, we are paying for this tool, so let's use it, or then let's not pay for it. So yeah, it was quite tough, and it was crucial for me also to be part of this marketing community in Helsinki, which was in English, and where I could always say, hey, my boss want to try Google Ads, but I have no idea how to do it. Can somebody help me out? So for sure, seeking communities help. I think it's very crucial, because then you realize that this marketing director and these CMOs are just normal people like you, and sure, they are more experts, for sure, they have more experience, but again, if they did what they did, I believe you can also do it. So with this attitude, I think, yeah, it was that's why I had this fast growth compared to the people who actually have an education. I feel like my bosses, they never really cared about which education, which school. I think this is a little bit traditional way of thinking. Also, from what I heard, for people who graduated from marketing schools, there are very few schools who are really good. So I feel like there is a lot of hands-on work and practical work that is not taught in the universities, and that's why there is this gap. Then when you finish to study, you feel like, okay, I already studied, now I'm ready for the job, and then no, you're not, because you don't know how to do the practical work. So yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like, at least in the case of your fellow interns, that studies actually created a block in experimenting and learning new things. And I kind of experienced the same, because when I graduated, I had the feeling of, okay, now I should know everything. And no, it's not like that exactly.
Yeah, and the feeling that I notice a lot of people, they go to the meetings where, you have to present your work, and they see it as this is an exam, and my colleagues are going to judge me, they're going to grade me. And I'm like, okay, hold on a second. It's a miracle that your colleagues showed up at this meeting. And I'm sure nobody's checking that you're doing grammar mistakes, and you're not presenting a book that someone else wrote and that you had to memorize. You are presenting your job, you are updating the team, what you are doing. So I don't even see where is the judging part, where is the grading part. So yeah, I
In
agree.
my case, it was internal
Yeah,
pressure.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's tough.
funny, yeah.
So having learned yourself, if you were to teach marketing to someone that doesn't know anything now, what would be the first thing that you would teach them?
It will be probably to remember that marketing is an crucial part of the business. So for sure, it's very important to learn brand awareness, to learn the concept of branding, but or even like retention. A lot of people feel like retention is part of the account manager and the customer service people do that, but no, actually marketing is a crucial part of every step of the business. So for sure, it's I will teach them how to present the results of why we should invest in marketing and why now are we investing in brand awareness, because I feel like there is, especially in B2B, there is this lack of knowledge from founders, because especially if they don't have a marketing background, which most of them don't, there is this kind of lack of knowledge about, okay, marketing is not a core part of the business, but it's just an investment we have to, a cost we have to have, because everybody's is doing it. So probably the first thing I would like to remind, if I would have to teach someone from scratch marketing, is to put position marketing inside the business. So it should be like a core part of the business. And then reminding what is the role of the marketing in a company. And the role of the marketing, from my point of view, is to serve your audience with everything they need to know for them to choose your company. So maybe because I have this customer service background, but whatever I do in marketing, I always keep my customers in mind. And I'm like, okay, with this brand awareness campaign, am I giving the right information at the right stage of the funnel to my audience? Or, okay, we want to do some upselling, so we need to do this retention marketing, email marketing campaign. Cool, how are we doing it? Are we actually serving the customers with what they need to make the decision that, sure, actually, I want to also use this other service you offer, or yeah, I haven't used your product in a while, it will be good to do it again. So yeah, that's very important in my opinion, if you really want to have a thriving career in marketing.
Yeah, totally. Touching on the retention part, because most of my experience has been on retention. Yeah, just wanted to say that it is part of growth. Growth is not just getting new customers, because when the bucket is leaking, you don't grow as fast. And yeah, many founders might miss that.
Yeah, exactly, especially in startups and scale-ups. Actually, yeah, one of my most successful projects was an email marketing campaign that I did together with the account manager, and I cannot disclose the exact numbers, but I can tell you that within 6 months from when we started the campaign, we reached a 6-figure number in the revenue. So and it was super easy, you know, with one email, we reached a 6-figure number. Okay, if we want to put it on a scale from 1 to 10, is between 1 and 2. But still, you know, for a small company, this is a lot of money for free, basically, with just one email campaign. So yeah, a reminder that retention is very important and it should be everyone's priority, not only customer service, account manager, because I was the one who came up with this idea. We didn't have a customer success team, and yeah, I took it from inspiration from another company that did it, and I'm like, hey, if they did it, we should do it. And then it worked. It was quite a good achievement.
What was the basis of that email? Why do you think it worked?
It worked because we made it very personal. So Of course, we had a tool to send 400 emails at once from the account manager. And the content, I let him write the content. I'm like, I want that people read it and think it's you behind. And it was super, super friendly, super down to heart. He is one of the most amazing person I ever worked with, and it really reflected his vibe. And it was simply like, can we ask you why you stopped using our service? We are doing some feedback research, and we just would like to know, yeah, what happened? You seem really happy, and I can see that there is room for improvement, and you can use the tool even more. It was a native advertising platform, so we noticed that some of the people were not actively launching campaigns. And wow, the response was, it was amazing. Like people were like, hey, like really, really thought that it was him. And it was, then we found out that most of the people actually simply forgot about us because we didn't have a proper retention strategy. So they were like, yeah, your tool is amazing, but you know what? Actually, we haven't, we totally forgot about it. Or then, you know, some people said that, hey, sorry, we decided not to proceed with you. And actually, can I be removed from the email list? And we said, sure, happy to do that. So it was personal, it was real, and the approach was not sales, but more like, can we know, can we have a feedback? Why did you want to stop using our product? So yeah, it was quite good project.
The feeling of human to human.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, that was the vibe. Exactly.
So before you mentioned that marketeers use 10 to 15 tools,
Yeah.
and that makes processes very complicated. How do you think that can be simplified in a way?
Personally, I like to have everything in one place. I don't want to use 5 different tools. I think the problem, from my personal experience and what I've been hearing around, is that someone in the C-level read a PR article about competitor using this tool, and then they come on Slack and tell you, hey, we should use this tool because the competitor is using this tool. And, you know, because he's your boss, you say, okay, sure, I can check it out. And so, first of all, the first thing to do, in my opinion, is establish a budget for this tool. So how much money we can actually spend in all of these tools. And then I will probably go like, how many people are actually using this tool? Are you using this tool every day? Are you using this tool once a month, once a week, once a year? And then we can evaluate why. And most of the time, it's because people don't know how to use the tool and they don't want to know how to use the tool. And then I arranged a lot of training in my previous job how to use the tools. And I can tell you the way I learn is I contacted the tools customer support and I asked them, hey, can we do this? Can we do that? How can we set up this? How can we set up that? So again, not rocket science. I didn't go to any weird course. And then I was teaching my colleagues how to use it. So yeah, I would say the good way to avoid it is also to have a clear budget and to remind whoever wants to add a new tool, do we really need another tool, or do we already have the feature that you are promoting with this tool, maybe in the current tool stack we have? And preferably having everything in one place. So that will be awesome, because then the tools start to be something that everybody use on a daily basis, instead of using this tool every day, then another tool once a week, another tool once a month. So yeah.
Let's go a bit into your freelancing times now.
Yes.
How has it been moving from more stability to freelancing?
Yes, freelancing has been something that, well, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I never really had the courage to start. But the journey actually started way back to a couple of years ago that I got approached by this CEO who needed like 10, 15 hours a month. And she was super nice, and she told me that she heard about me from someone, and she wanted to tell me about the opportunity with her. But back then I was too full with my full-time job, and I was in the board of association, and then I have my own jewelry company. So I was like, no, no, thank you. But then it was in the back of my mind, like, okay, actually what she said is really cool. And in Finland, I started to gather information. How does it work if you are an entrepreneur and you want to buy an apartment, for example, these things that I'm not sure the bank will be very happy to see that you left your well-paid, stable job for this crazy ride. So yeah, I started to gather information. And then at the beginning of this year, I was unemployed for a few months, and I started to connect with marketers who were doing marketing as a service. And I gather really valuable insights. And then I started to think about who could my customers be. And I came to the conclusion that I identified three customer personas. And I decided to start with the one that, every customer persona is different. And then there is the one that has long sales cycle, medium sales cycle, and fast sales cycle. I decided to go with the one that was the fastest and easy to assess. And yeah, so I started in June, actually. So I've been in touch with this person since March, but we finally signed the agreement in June. And I still have my full-time job with the agency. So in that sense, I still have the stability I need. And this company, they only need 10 hours a month, so which is perfect for me. And yeah, so as per now, of course, I want to bring results, but I also want to test if this is something I want to do long term. I still like, I like a lot having a team, working with colleagues, working for a company. So I'm considering maybe long term, if I want to go that road, it will be great to have these interim roles. So where, work 6 months for this company, maybe covering some leave from someone. So yeah, but so far it has been really good because I started to say around that I was open to freelancing. And then I was in this very comfortable situation that I was getting so many requests that I had to stop saying around that I was looking for freelancing gig. So, and actually I had four companies who were very interested in having me like this 10 hours a month. And I was in the situation that I'm like, okay, but I want to pick this one. So yeah, that was good. However, I know that this is kind of very particular case because usually the problem is to find the next clients. But I am very active on LinkedIn. I'm building my own personal branding there, and that helped a lot attracting those companies.
So you found those companies just by posting on LinkedIn, or did you also do reach?
Yeah.
Okay.
So actually, I did all the four. I did the sales outreach. I found them through this association for startup companies, where I knew that they are founders who probably don't have a marketing background and don't have the money to hire full time, but they still need someone who can do few hours a month and take out of their table some marketing tasks that usually the founder is doing at this stage. So then I did the four of them. I did the sales outreach there, and I just introduce myself and I say, hey, I'm open for freelancing, but just few hours a month. So I thought that if you like to hear more, that could be a good match. But then I started to get requests from LinkedIn. So that's when I started I had to stop saying around that I'm looking for a freelancing gig. So actually, these four of them, with all four, I did the sales outreach. But then it was at the situation, I don't know what happened, that almost every week I was getting inbox from CEOs in my LinkedIn, and I had to say sorry. But I always did. Okay, sorry, I can't, but I know someone for you because I have friends who are freelancers, and I was passing the clients to them. So yeah, we will see. Maybe one day I will start to be actively looking for freelancer gig again, and this will happen, hopefully.
Amazing. Great results.
Yeah, it was quite surprisingly good.
And how is it at the agency at the moment?
Yeah, very good, very good. I'm really happy here. The team is international. We are from all over the world, which is great. I always like to work with different culture and different types of colleagues with different backgrounds. And we do SEO. We are a full stack SEO agency, so we take care of not only content or on-page optimization, but we also have tech SEO. We have strategic SEO, we have all of the backlink SEO, we have PR SEO. So we take care of SEO 100%. I'm learning a lot, which is great. I'm very happy with the learning path. When I started, of course, I did SEO as well in my previous role when I was B2B marketing manager, especially the first year where we didn't have much money for marketing. So of course, it was important to invest in SEO. But yeah, many things changed in Google since I started to know what is SEO 4 years ago. So this is something I really like about this job, that there is no high season or low season. There is just Google updates, and let's see how this impact our website, and then let's act accordingly. But what I really love about this agency is that we have a team who's constantly studying Google and the algorithm, the updates, and it's so cut-edging that it seems like when there is an update, we already know. We already predict what Google is going to change. This agency has been around for 20 years, and you can see that they are really professional, and they don't use any shortcut. They just study a lot Google, and yeah, that's what I really appreciate. That's what I'm learning so much, understanding how Google works, and yeah, so
Do you
everything.
have any insights on how SEO might evolve?
Nobody knows what Google will be up to. Maybe one friendly reminder for everyone who's trying to nail SEO is, again, to remember your customer, remember your readers. And the more you study your readers and customers, the more you study what keywords are they using when they search, what queries they have in mind when they have to find your company. We need to remember that Google purpose is to serve the searchers. So your content has to match what the person is searching for. As long as you keep this in mind, then there is no update that will harm your website. If Google, for example, now there has been a huge update in March, and I know some of the e-commerce were suffering. What I think it's very good that Google does is that if some websites are suffering, they can always submit a feedback, submit a complaint, and then Google maybe will, okay, actually that was a bad idea, let's go back to before. So whatever updates there is, it's because Google wants to give a better searching experience from their users, which are your customers. So if you keep that in mind, I think there is no update that will harm your website.
Hmm. Working both at the agency and having the freelancing gig, how is it with work-life balance?
Yeah, work-life balance, it's actually a very important topic for me. Last year, I had 2 times a very bad burnout where I had to take sick leave because of stress at work. I have to say, for sure, it was a bad combo that also in my personal life, I was going through some tough time. So now I'm extremely careful what I put on my plate. I am more brave, say no. I also know more myself and I know more what is my limits. Um, I 10 hours a month. I try to squeeze them on Saturdays, 2 hours each Saturdays, maybe from 2 to 4 p.m. So I still have the morning for me and I still have the evening for me. And then the remaining 2 hours, I take it with my customer. We meet face to face, couple of hours during the week, once a month, usually on Wednesday. So we decided to go with this schedule. So yeah, once a month we meet face to face and we brainstorm together. We make the plan for the month. We decide how to proceed. And then on Saturdays I do the actual work for her. And then of course almost every day we are in touch. Sometimes she throws ideas and I write it down, but then we develop it later. Or sometimes she send me, she just want to know my opinion, and then I send her vocals on WhatsApp, so she has my vocal always there if she has to listening again. What I like her a lot is that my client, she's very efficient. She's also very busy. So she's very efficient and straight to the point. And this has been working so far very well. Let's see how this develops. We have, of course, the business goals to reach through this partnership that we established before I signed the contract. And we have a contract until December, and then we will see what happens. But yeah, this is how I decided to go with my schedule.
Hmm. Do you find yourself thinking about work a lot after? No.
No, actually, no. Well, in this company, we have very strict policies about that, meaning that we are not allowed to bring home the company laptop. The company laptop stays at work unless you are working remotely. And even there, you cannot work more than 7 hours and a half. In Finland, a full time, it's 8 hours, but the half an hour lunch break is not included in your work. Like it's included, but it's considered, of course, not in your working hours. So the work hours are 7.5. And we absolutely cannot have any work app in our phones. This is something that they told me so many times at the beginning. The only app we can have is the HR app, because we can request sick leave, we can request vacation, and everything else strictly forbidden unless you are a director, manager, and then you need to have access to some important information, because we have offices from all over the world. So of course, with the time difference, the directors don't want to miss out important information for the team. So with this approach, I have to say that no, it's really working for me. So that's actually one of the reasons why I decided to go with this company, because I saw they are really strict with work-life balance. And if we do some company events, they try to squeeze it inside the working hours. So you don't have to take a decision. Do I network and socialize at work, or do I spend time with my family or loved ones? So I appreciate it. I think it really makes a difference to work in an environment where everybody's on the same page with this.
Yeah, I wish more companies would be like that.
Yeah, same. So yeah, no, I really don't think about work at all in the evenings or weekends. And this freelancer gig is something I really enjoy. I really love my clients' services. So it's actually exciting to do it on Saturday, and Sunday no work. So this
That
is
was actually going to be my next question. What do you find most fulfilling in your work?
yeah. Yeah, so at my full-time job is probably learning. I'm still in the learning phase. So this is for sure a very exciting time where I'm learning a lot. And now I'm involved in this super interesting project as well. So I appreciate that even though I'm here for a few months, they still put me in charge of interesting projects and develop them. And I like that I have the freedom and there is no micromanagement. Like I really appreciate that the director gave me total free hands to do what I want, and that's I don't know how many companies allow that. And yeah, for my client, I really love her mission. She's doing services for companies to relocate international talents to Finland. So this is something, of course, it's a cause that is very close to my heart. And it's so exciting because, you know, we are building everything from scratch. So I really have the power here to position marketing as a business growth and not just, okay, something that we have to do because everybody's doing it, but I don't understand how is this impacting my business. So it's very important for me also to try to teach the founder that okay, you are a Finnish company, cool. If you want to be seen as a global company, you really need to invest marketing, or then you will always be seen as the small Finnish company when you go to international markets where your competitors are really massively investing in marketing. So yeah, and she's really nice as well. She also gave me free hands. I like that we can have constructive discussion, and we are on the same page on many things. And yeah, so that's it.
And what is your biggest challenge?
My biggest challenge right now it's probably I would like to be. I am a very impatient person, even though maybe it doesn't seem like that, because I also can be very resilient. But I need to learn that in SEO, for example, there are very few things you can control because, again, nobody knows what Google will be up to tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow we wake up and there will be a surprise update. So it's something that I have to learn, that in this job, I have to let go. I have to accept that, okay, I spend so much time in this page and it's still not ranking, it's still not bringing sales. But there is very few things I can actually do. I mean, I can try my luck, I can benchmark with competitors, but yeah, this is something I still have to learn. While in my previous role in B2B marketing, where I was the marketing manager, you know, I had more control in, okay, I know this strategy will be working, I know this is something we should do, or okay, this didn't work, but why? Can we analyze the why? And in SEO, sometimes you don't know why your page is not ranking because nobody can tell as a fact. So this is something I have to learn still. But yeah, getting there.
And what was your main challenge in your previous job with B2B?
I think in my previous job, the challenge was that it was a small company and I didn't have a marketing team. So I felt lonely and not really understood a lot of times. I wish there was more of a more senior marketer with me who would, you know, take away responsibility from my plate and who had the experience to really talk business in marketing, because of course now for me it's so cool to say, yeah, I know how to talk to the CEO and explain to him or her that marketing is driving business impact. But 4 years ago, that was not the case for me. I was like, okay, we need to do this because, why this is not working? Why is this not aligned? So I wish that there was a more senior role with me who would teach me and guide me and be sitting at the C-level to represent marketing on the very important discussions. So that was, that was my main challenge. And the main reason why I left the role, I felt like after 3 years working like that, I really missed teamwork. I'm a team player. Actually, just yesterday I did the work personality test, and the result was that for me it's very important to have the team. So yeah, and as a next step, I thought that I wanted to work in an agency. So yeah, I feel like I found what I want. Yeah, so that was the main challenge.
Is there anything from your flight attendant job that skills that you learned or something that you learned that you transferred into marketing?
That's a very good question. And yes, actually, yes, I would say communication, because when you are a flight attendant, they really teach you how to communicate. You need to be assertive, you need to be still easy to approach, because, passengers should feel comfortable asking you stuff. And at the same time, you have to be professional and handle the tough situation, always protecting yourself and the airline's image. So that's something that definitely I bring at work every day. So I like to communicate a lot when I'm involved in project. I believe in sharing communication and sharing information with everyone. And I feel like this is something that they don't teach you in school. And then you go to work, and then you work with this person who graduated from this school, but then this person doesn't know how to communicate. So nobody likes to work with this person, or you miss out important information. So definitely communication. I would say also working under pressure, because when you are a flight attendant, you have pressure from every corner. You have the pressure from the airline, you have the pressure from the team, you have the pressure from the pilots, you have the pressure from the airport because everything has to be on time, and you have the pressure from the passengers, of course. So there are many pressuring sides, and I really learn how to navigate those pressure in a professional and efficient way, which again, of course, it made, again, I really believe in teamwork and learning from your senior colleagues. When I started my journey as a flight attendant, of course, I had a team every time I was going to work. There was the senior cabin crew member, and then there will be the other senior or mixed senior and junior crew. And it was super nice to learn their tips and tricks, how to navigate those pressures. And yeah, I would say these two. So communication and working under pressure.
Valuable skills. Very important. When it comes to working with others, collaborating, have you experienced any challenges with working together with not you personally, but when people are working together and aligning? Have you seen any challenges in your experience?
Yes, many. I feel like a lot of people, what you said before is true. They put a lot of pressure on themselves, and it's so easy to focus on your own goals, because otherwise you are a failure, that you forget the team goal and the company goal. So yes, I've seen many times, and in my previous role, I also struggled a little bit to to work with others, but not because I'm not a team player. My perception is that some of my previous colleagues were not used to be team players, or maybe more like again, because it was a small company, a lot of things to do, a lot of priorities, then working together wasn't a priority, because before you do this project with me, you had to complete your stuff or your goals. So then, yeah, I noticed this vibe a lot. In this company, teamwork is very essential. Also because I feel like we are all on the same boat with Google and understanding the algorithm. That every time someone find out some techniques or some new feature on the Google SERP, it's very excited to share it with the team. So yeah, this is something like working in a competitive environment. It's something that I personally never experienced. So all of the environments where I've been, it wasn't a race on who's the coolest in the team or who the boss liked the most. No, I never experienced that. But yeah, that too, I see it again. It reconnects with having pressure with yourself and the need of impressing others to feel good about yourself. When I see these people, I honestly feel really sad for them, because they must have had a very tough past if, as a grown-up, you behave like that. So yeah, that's my point of view in this team dynamics. I try to put everyone together in the team. I like to organize team activities or come up with ideas with the team, and I like that people are comfortable approaching me or talking to me. So maybe that's why I never really experienced bad situations. Yeah, so
Yeah, many talk about competition between sales and marketing, for
yeah, right.
example, or
Yeah,
marketing and product.
yeah, yeah. At
And
my
even though you try to achieve the same goals,
yeah,
then
right.
there
Yeah,
might even be some competition between
yeah,
the goals of the
yeah,
different departments, which is
exactly. Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, exactly. That's something for luckily in my previous role that was not the case in B2B. I feel like because again it was a small company, the sales team, they didn't really have a team. So they had to team up with me, because even to have a confrontation with someone, because they were also, kind of one person handling the sales in Denmark, in Norway, in Finland, in Sweden. So then, yeah, many times actually they were happy to involve me in their activities, also because our audience back then was marketing teams and marketing agencies. And me, as marketing in the company, I was kind of representing the customer's point of view. So in that sense, it was, yeah, I didn't experience crazy stories about sales marketing battles, but I heard a lot of unfortunate stories, because, as you said, we forget that we all want to reach the goal, and competing is not a long-term solution to reach the goals, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's difficult to think long term when the average time that someone stays in a company is 2 to 3 years.
Exactly. Yes, I agree. Exactly. Yeah.
Hmm. Um, so how do you see the future of marketing evolving over the next decade? What trends or technologies do you think marketers should be aware of?
I like a lot this trend that marketing is more and more seen as a core business part. So at least in Finland, I can see that on LinkedIn, more and more CEOs and even sales professionals and director talk a lot about marketing and the importance of having alignment between sales and marketing. And I love this trend because, as you said, it solves not only reaching the business goal, but also it avoids having battles and competitions inside the departments and, waste of time, resources, and rising frustration. And then, of course, people want to leave the team because they don't feel valued, heard, or just happy in the role. So that's something I really love. I am actually, I don't know, this is a bit controversial, but I like AI because I think that it makes our job much easier. And I like to, seeing AI not as a threat, because I still don't believe that AI will ever evolve to the fact that they can take someone's job. We saw the case, last year with ChatGPT taking care of translations. And then all of those translators were out of work because ChatGPT now is doing the translations. And then those translations in English could be good, but then in Danish, in Norwegian, in Finnish, in Swedish, in Dutch, they are terrible. And then companies went back to the translators, who obviously now raise their prices because they realize the value of their work. So I still believe in AI, but using it not as a substitute for your persona, but more like, okay, the AI is here to make my job easier and to help me handling my job, my workload, and everything I do to succeed in a better way. So I like ChatGPT. I ask a lot of insights and a lot of, I don't know, sometimes I write stuff, or sometimes I ask, which tone would you use to reflect this vibe to the content? Or sometimes I have to do some researches, and it's easier to ask ChatGPT. And I always ask ChatGPT also to give me the source of what the tool is talking about. So I can always go to the websites, to the actual website where ChatGPT is getting the information, and I can always go and see to see if actually the information is correct and make sure that it's a valuable source. So obviously that's what I mean, like ask ChatGPT or ask those AI tools, but with some consciousness and with some details, so that you will get the best results for you, and you can always go and double check that what they are saying is true.
Does the thing with the sources work? Because last
Yes.
time I asked it, it created non-existent
Oh, really?
sources and
Okay.
links. So I would click on the link and it was, page does not exist or something like that.
Okay, interesting. No, for me, it works most of the time. Sometimes they give me the links, sometimes they give me the name of the website. So then I have to go and Google it. But yeah, for me, it worked, and I always double check. And if, as you said, the information is not found, is not true, well, then I'm not gonna use it. So yeah.
And when it comes to translations, last time we had to translate things at work. We were using an agency, but it really looked like they were using AI to translate because they were really bad. So yeah, just be aware which agency you hire for translations.
Yes.
Because maybe you can just do it yourself in the end.
I like the freelancers because they are much more professional. You can give feedback straight away, and they will apply the feedback straight away. So in my previous role, I worked a lot with freelancers, and I relate to the problems you had. It took some time to find very good translators for our content. But I don't have experience with translator agencies. I only worked with individual freelancers. And
yeah, it's easier with agencies when you want to translate in many languages, because then with freelancers you would have to find many different freelancers.
I know, yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, last question. What are your next steps?
So next step is to definitely invest in my freelancer career and try to be, in a year, I really want to be more confident in my new role as a SEO specialist and learning as much as I can. And then we will see what will happen next year. I'm very positive with my current professional life. I feel like I have a very good work-life balance. I work in a very healthy environment in this sense. And this is something that it's exactly the right place for me to work right now. Then on the side, let's see how my freelancer career develops. And it's very difficult to say what will happen next year. The agency I work for, it's financially very stable compared to other agencies. So I don't see any layoff coming anytime soon or anytime ever. But you never know. So that's why a bit difficult to predict my future. But something I know for sure is that I will always survive. I pivoted my career many times, and I know whatever will happen in my professional life, I know I have options. I know I have a very good network. I know I'm very creative finding other solutions of income. So I'm so lucky I live in a country like Finland where you can always go back to study. You can always learn something new, and we have a very good welfare system. So yeah, that's it.
Amazing. Sounds good.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Chiara.
thank
I really
you.
appreciate your insights.
Of course, it was really nice and fun to talk about these things with you.
Good, good. Great to hear.
Yes.
So, see you next time.
Yeah, looking forward.